That moment when you were lying there in pain, calling out for help, and he rolled over, barely looking at you, like it was nothing. The wound still raw, the betrayal still echoing. What happens when the person who vowed to be your shelter becomes the storm? When you bring yourself back to that moment, what happens in your body? You might notice heat rising through your chest, or tension gripping your shoulders, or your breathing becomes shallow. Where do you feel this most intensely? Just notice whatever's showing up now. No need to change it. This sensation has a story to tell, and when you understand it, you'll find a way to reclaim your power without burning bridges. This isn't about yelling or breaking things. This is about reclaiming the strength inside you that was never truly lost. You'll discover how to honor your needs without exhausting yourself in the process. As you stay with this sensation, you might notice different reactions arising within you. Perhaps a part of you is downplaying it. Was it really that bad? Another voice insists you keep taking care of everything despite your injury. Cook, clean, manage the house. And somewhere, there's hesitation about how others will judge your marriage. There's nothing wrong with these voices. They're trying to help in their own way. But beneath all that, there's that anger. The rage that flared when your needs were dismissed. You don't need to push it away. Just notice it. And here's why this matters. When you understand what this anger is really protecting, something shifts. You begin to reclaim your strength, not by silencing the anger, but by finally hearing what it's been trying to say all along. As you connect with this feeling, what image comes to mind? Maybe it appears as a wall of flame between you and anyone who might hurt you. Perhaps it's a figure standing with arms crossed, keeping others at a distance. Or it could be something entirely different. Whatever appears is a perfect reflection of your unique experience. As this image becomes clearer, you might recognize that you can observe it without being completely consumed by it. There's a difference between feeling angry and being aware that a part of you feels angry. Can you sense that distinction? You're not just the anger. You're the one who can see it, feel it, be with it. What if you gently imagined taking a step back from this image? Whether it's a wall of flame, a storm cloud, or something else entirely. Not pushing it away, just stepping back far enough to really see it. You might see it across from you, or slightly to one side. As this separation grows clearer, you might notice your breathing becoming deeper, your shoulders relaxing slightly, or a sense of your own presence becoming stronger. This distance is precious. It allows you to remain connected to your experience. It is a sign that you're not judging or suppressing these feelings, but you're also not completely identified with them. This curiosity comes from a wise, compassionate place within you that can hold even the most difficult emotions. As you maintain this gentle distance, what do you notice about your feelings toward this anger? You might notice other feelings arising, perhaps worry about what will happen if you really acknowledge how angry you feel. Maybe there's fear about what this anger might do if allowed to speak, or that looking at it will only make things worse. These worries make perfect sense. They're trying to protect you too. What would they need to know to feel comfortable stepping back just for a little while. You might acknowledge these concerns. I understand you're worried about looking at this anger too closely. I'm just going to listen for a few minutes to understand what happened that moment. I won't let it take over or make any big decisions right now. From this more spacious place, you might quietly ask it, what are you most upset about? It might respond with memories of that night, the pain in your body, the humiliation you felt that moment. Or maybe it goes deeper, to all the times you've cared for him while receiving so little in return. You might wonder, what is it trying to do for me when it feels so intensely? Maybe this anger is keeping you from collapsing into despair. Maybe it's giving you the strength to maintain boundaries when you feel powerless. Maybe it's preserving your dignity when you feel diminished. Now, how do you feel toward it? Instead of seeing it as a problem, you might recognize it as a natural response to what happened. It's trying to take care of you in the best way it knows how. There might be a softening, perhaps even appreciation, for how hard it's working to keep you safe, to preserve your self-respect. You might wonder what it would say if you asked, how long have you been carrying this for me? It might show you not just that night, but countless other moments when you were the caregiver, with no one to care for you. What happens when you acknowledge this? You might feel a surprising sense of connection with this fierce energy. You've carried this for so long. I see that now. Thank you. When anger is truly seen, something often transforms. Not because the situation has changed, but because the anger no longer needs to shout to be heard. And something inside you softens, warmth spreading where there was tension before, tears coming to your eyes, or your breath moving more freely. This anger isn't wrong. It arose from a genuine betrayal of trust. When you were vulnerable and in pain, the person who promised to care for you, in sickness and in health, wasn't there. It knows that what happened that night wasn't okay. From this understanding, you might ask your anger, what do you really want from me? And discover that beneath the heat and intensity is a deeper longing for connection, for reciprocity, for your needs to matter as much as everyone else's. Your anger knows you deserve this care, even if you've been conditioned to always be the caregiver. When anger knows it's been heard, it often relaxes slightly. Not because what happened wasn't serious, but because it no longer has to work so hard to get your attention. It understands now that you're listening. When your anger knows its message is finally being received, it can rest, not disappear, just rest. Because now you're here too, and that changes everything. You might gently wonder with this anger, if you didn't need to carry all of this intensity, what else might you want to do for me? Perhaps there's a strength beneath the anger that could help you set clear boundaries without burning bridges. Maybe there's wisdom in this fire that could transform into a steady, warm light, one that illuminates your worth rather than scorching those who don't see it. The anger doesn't need to disappear. It could evolve into something that still protects what matters most to you, but in a way that feels more sustainable, more aligned with the life you want to create. And as you move through the days ahead, you might notice moments when that familiar heat begins to rise. Perhaps when your husband dismisses something important to you, or when your needs are once again set aside. In those moments, you could place your hand where you feel the sensation beginning. Take a breath and acknowledge, I see you trying to protect me. Then, from this place of awareness, you might choose how to respond rather than react, perhaps by stating clearly what you need, or by stepping away until you can speak from your center. You're not asking your anger to disappear or stop caring, just to trust that together you have the wisdom to address what's happening while honoring the boundaries and respect this fierce energy has been fighting for all along. If this conversation resonated with you, I invite you to pause with me for a moment. Place your hand where you felt the strongest response in your body. Simply breathe and acknowledge whatever you discovered here. This moment of care is part of the shift. And if you found value in this approach, consider subscribing to this channel. I'm Claire, and each week I'll guide you through quiet, thoughtful explorations of your inner world, creating space for all the parts of you that have worked so hard to keep you safe. Until next time, remember, when we listen to these powerful emotions with curiosity instead of judgment, everything can begin to shift.